really humid out.
It's very humid.
All right, ready? So, how do you feel about the fans' reaction to Legendary so far?
It's the best reaction we've ever had. Really amazed by the response that we've had so far. I couldn't have asked for a better response, actually.
All right. What would be your best day ever?
Oh man,
I know you hate this.
I have to pick one day.
Yeah.
I get excited about like drinking coffee in the morning. So, God, the greatest day ever would probably kill me because I'd probably explode from like some type of just ecstatic happiness.
What would you do?
I'd probably just get super drunk at a bar with Neil Patrick Harris, but that's probably it. It's probably my greatest day ever. And then I'd be able to do magic at the same time, just cause. I don't know. Yeah, that's the greatest day ever.
Okay, what kind of girls freak you out?
Almost all of them. Oh, at this point in my life, the older I get, the more they freak me out. So yeah, just about all of them.
What has been your reaction to the street team so far?
Street team, this is I think the first record we've ever done where like the street team's really like we've really been able to see a huge positive difference in the street team, especially here on Warped Tour. I walk around in the morning when I wake up because I wake up kind of early, and there are people hanging our posters up and people I didn't even organize. Like Fearless has put together an amazing street team for us, and we've just had so much great support already. So this is a really cool way to Warped Tour's a really cool way to see how much of a benefit a good street team is.
Does the Josh John bromance, does that still exist?
I don't think so. I don't think it exists anymore.
Is there any romance, you know?
Within the band? Not really.
Steve and Jess,
that's a bromance for sure. Steven and Jess is a serious bromance.
Yeah, that is.
Jess is the biggest bro in our band. She wears backwards hats now.
You mean Jeff?
Yeah, she's a serious bro.
What are the biggest misconceptions, weirdest rumors you have heard about your band?
The weirdest rumor I ever heard was that Steven and Jess were dating, because that didn't really work out. Steven has a girlfriend, and Jess does too. So, and then I'm always a little confused when people call us a pop punk band. I don't really think we've ever been very punk rock, but it's not that big a deal. You can call us whatever you want. You can call us like a metal band. I'm trying to think if there's been any weird rumors about me, and I can't think of any.
We told everyone in the Philippines that you're not gay.
Oh,
That's what you told us in your last
time.
I'm trying to let the Philippines think I'm gay. I think it's funny. I'm not, but they're allowed to think it. That's pretty funny to me.
Okay, what is your favorite Disney Channel original movie?
Oh God, let's pick one of these two. Brink, going Brink. Brink, skate better. Brink for sure.
Oh, okay. What is your spirit animal?
Big ol' lion.
Describe the Somerset in 3 words to a new listener.
Okay, I want to pick 3 different words that I've used before that are really good. Orgasmic, sunshine, happiness.
Okay.
That's gonna come back to haunt me at some point.
Probably. Have any fans had an impact on your life?
All of them. I can't possibly pick one. The fact that we have fans is an impact on my life. We've been doing this for 6 years, and that's dawning on me more and more every day how we've been able to do this for so long, and it feels so new every single day.
Was there a single like we did this moment in your career?
That's happening every day. Playing even as far as playing today, playing main stage for that many people and having the most unreal crowd we've had all Warped Tour. That was just one of those moments. I always remember the night John and I wrote "Lightning in a Bottle" last summer. We were in the studio. We took a couple days, and the first day we left with like a really rough just demo from the studio board that didn't even really sound that good. But we got in my car and we drove back to my apartment and met up with some friends or whatever. And that night, and we went out for a little bit, and then that night just ended up with us like driving around Hollywood, California, listening to "Lightning in a Bottle" on repeat with like my friends, and that was like the really coolest feeling in the entire world to have that feeling, especially on the night it was written. I think the minute that happened, I knew that we might have a really important song here.
If you could pick any 2 celebrity parents, who would they be and why?
George Clooney would be my dad, because that looked really good for a long time. Jennifer Aniston would be my mom. Except that's weird because I think my mom was really hot. So, still going with Jennifer Aniston.
Okay. Would you ever consider letting Jane be your merch girl instead of Connor?
Jane Gomez?
No. Oh wait, what's Josh's
Jane
mom?
Montgomery. They're both Jane.
Oh, Jane Montgomery.
Jane and Jane. Sorry, there's Jane Gomez and Jane Montgomery. Absolutely not. Jane is. Actually, yeah. I think we would sell so much.
I think she was so awesome about the countdown.
I think the Jane and Connor combo
Yeah.
would be a life-changing merch situation for us. I think if Jane Montgomery told you to buy something, you couldn't say no to her.
Yeah, she would reel in the crowd.
I would. I'd buy so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys name your fish in your bus?
Well, there were two little baby sharks. One's name was Mr. Whiskers. One's name was Bruce, like the shark from Finding Nemo. Both are dead.
Already?
Yep, both are dead. Yeah, well, we shouldn't have bought fish. We have a puffer fish named Hillary Puff, except sometimes I call it Hufflepuff, and then sometimes I call it Jimmy Puffit, and then sometimes I call it Jigglypuff, like the Pokemon, so I can't really make up my mind. And then there's one fish that's name is Polo after our bus driver, and he's probably the only one that's gonna live, so.
Do you have any the most memorable or most awkward fan encounters? Awkward.
The most memorable one, it wasn't even awkward, the most memorable one, I was home from tour, I was in California, there's a little breakfast coffee shop I go to 3 or 4 times a week, kind of in the middle of nowhere, or kind of like tucked in like an alley, like not a popular place, not on like a main road like in Los Angeles, and I was there with a couple friends. I'd been out pretty late the night before, to say the least, and so I looked pretty wrecked, and a couple girls walked by or whatever. I didn't really think anything of it, but then they kind of walked by again, like going backwards, and then it happened like 3 or 4 more times, and I was like, that looks suspicious. Why do they keep pacing back and forth outside the window? Then I realized one of them was wearing an all-time low shirt, and I knew exactly where this was going, and they came in, they asked me if I was who I was, and they kind of started screaming in this tiny little quiet coffee shop that I go to all the time, and like where the waitress knows me by name, and I took some pictures, and they were really sweet, and I'll never forget them, and I've seen them at shows since, and it was one of the coolest things, the funniest things in the world, because I was around a bunch of my best friends, and spent the whole rest of the day getting made fun of by my friends, and the waitress at this place will never let it go. So.
Who would all of you be in Mean Girls?
I think Jess would be Regina George. We're all terrified of her. I would probably be Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
John would be what's the really dumb one? John would be that one.
Oh, that one.
The girl
I forget
is
her
like-
name.
Karen. John would be Karen.
Okay.
I guess Steven would be Gretchen, who just thinks she's super hot all the time. And then I guess Josh got to be. Josh can be Regina George's mom.
Oh God, yeah.
That's it. Okay, we're going with that.
Will there ever be a legendary tour? And like along with that, everybody asks, when are you coming to their like where they live?
Insert place.
Yeah.
There will be a legendary tour at some point. No plans for it now. I'd love to do something like that, like maybe in the spring or next year, like a proper headlining tour. While we have no plans right now, I'd love to support in the fall, just off the new record, so we can meet more people. But and as far as Insert City here, we're gonna see all of you in the next year. The album is done. We're gonna be everywhere. You're actually gonna get sick of seeing us.
I don't know about that.
You're gonna get sick of me.
Weirdest thing you've learned about each other from touring together?
John chews with his mouth open. Jess snores. Steven still straightens his hair. It's still kind of weird.
You saw that one.
Every day in the bathroom, in our tiny little bathroom bus, there's just a hair straightener on, and I almost every day get like caught on fire. Josh, I'm not sure about Josh. Josh is like a really good poet out of nowhere. I don't really know where that came from, but all of a sudden Josh has been like writing poetry all the time.
Write the next album.
Yeah, all of a sudden Josh turned into like a poet. He stopped writing songs, started writing poetry, which is kind of, probably gets more girls. According to Jess, I pee on the toilet seat, but it's not important. And I think that's not true. It's true.
Who are the most and least mature members of your band?
I'm obviously the most mature. And at the same time, I'm probably the least mature. I'm taking both titles of this one.
Okay. Favorite childhood cartoons?
Batman. And yeah, just Batman. Like the early 90s Batman was the greatest cartoon ever.
Okay, what are your favorite pickup lines?
Have you met Ted?
Oh my god. When was your first moment of realization that you were making a difference in your fans' lives?
How do I pick one of these? It's hard. I mean, I'm noticing the impact of it more every day, especially with this record and what this record's about is when I think, really realizing the most impact, because this is a record about being a better version of yourself. So every day I'm seeing more and more impact with our 10 signings and whatnot. But as far as like when I first remember it, I don't even know when the beginning of that was. I think that's what's so cool is that since we started playing music, there's been a response.
Who would make the best father and the best mother? So kind of like
Jess could technically be the only mother, so I guess I'll have to give her that title. Josh would probably be a good dad. Not sure I ever want to see John have kids. That seems terrifying.
Yeah.
Or myself. I don't know. Imagine a little me running around all the time, screaming and yelling and peeing on things. That kid would be scary.
Can you tell us a little bit about your reactions to winning iHeartRadio?
That was like the greatest 24 hours of my life. Taco Bell followed me on Twitter. The Red Wings beat the Ducks. Another thing that I can't talk about yet happened that blew my whole mind. And then I got a phone call from my manager 10 in the morning after like my last night in LA before we left for all these tours, saying we won iHeartRadio. I was barely even awake. I was barely even coherent.
How did you guys celebrate?
I took a tequila shot at around 10:30 in the morning with my roommate, and then I got in my car with my dad and drove to Arizona.
Your strangest Warped Tour experience either this year or before?
I think we'd have to go with the 2010 Warped Tour, where back-to-back San Antonio and Houston, it rained because it was like a hurricane season, and everyone just played in their underwear. And we were literally stripping on stage, literally ripping off articles of clothing. It was like the two worst shows we've ever played too, but they were funny. I'll never forget them.
How does it feel to have a united fan group?
Awesome. I don't know how else. It feels legendary. That's the first time I've used it as an answer. Boom.
Okay. And your craziest Somerset story, just in general?
I would probably have to go with the time we crashed a wedding with a rocket to the moon at a hotel in 2009 in Cincinnati, Ohio. We were on tour together, and we got to the hotel. We were all really tired. It was late, and we were at some Marriott in Cincinnati, and there were hundreds of people everywhere. And I look around like, why are there so many people? I look in the lobby. We're checking into our rooms. I see some sign that says like, "Congratulations, David and Jessica." And I look around to everyone. I'm like, everyone, I don't care if you're tired. Put on your best clothes. We're crashing a wedding because that's what this is. And then like Pretty Ricky, the R&B group, was there, and we ended up hanging out with them. And then at one point, the bride and groom's parents opened a bar tab for us, and we became part of the family.
That's awesome.
Still the craziest story to date. And it was 4 years ago. We need to step up our game.
All right.
Well, that's all. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank
you.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.